I was buttering toast at 7:23 a.m., coffee maker hissing like a tiny steam engine, when my wife walked in with the politician's smile, the one that means, "This is an announcement, not a conversation." My sisters, their kids, and Mom are moving in, Clarissa said. It's already decided. Then she grabbed her keys and left to pick them up. I stood there with a butter knife in my hand, watching my quiet house turn into a committee decision I'd apparently missed. 8 years married to Clarissa had trained me to read the signs, open magazines to the right curtains, we language that meant me. But this was martial law. The words "already decided" rang louder than the wind chimes. Next door. For clarity, her family meant Dahlia, 32 and allergic to payroll, Marisol, a single mom with 3 kids and a PhD in chaos, and Gloria, a mother-in-law who treated my home like a hotel with poor management. None of them had paid a dime here. I had 15 years of overtime and duct-taped trucks to get a deed with one name on it, mine. I finished my toast because chewing felt like the only polite way to keep my jaw from locking up. When the cup hit the saucer, I knew 2 things. My silence wasn't consent, and "we have the space" was about to meet "no, we don't." I walked the house and took inventory of my life, the sectional I bought after 2 months of doubles, the mahogany dining set that cost me a summer of holidays, my office, the one peaceful room in the house, which, according to a text that pinged right then, was about to become a playroom because it has the best natural light. Dahlia's texts rolled in like orders from a hotel concierge I'd never hired. Marisol would take the guest room, privacy with the baby, and Gloria needs the master because of her back, Gloria, who power walks 3 miles every morning. Clarissa and I, they decided, could take the basement. So private, 2 heart emojis, no question marks anywhere. No, would it be okay if? Just statements, declared facts, like gravity. A strange calm came over me. I wasn't the shouting type anyway. I'm the type who calls the right people. First call, Victor Ramirez, property attorney. Your name alone on the deed? He asked. Just yours? Just mine. Then you hold the cards, he said. If you want to keep the house, fight. If you don't, change the rules. Second call, Lydia, the relentless realtor who'd been telling me the market was insane. I didn't want insane money. I wanted speed. Cash buyer, no contingencies, close in days, I said. She got quiet, then excited. I have someone. Third call, Mr. Boyd, a widower I'd helped during a flooded basement Saturday years back. You can use my guest room as long as you need, he said. No rent. I promised I'd pay anyway. By noon, I wasn't the man holding cold toast. I was a man with a plan. I also had a quiet account. Years ago, I'd noticed how extra money evaporated into throw pillows and girls' weekends, so I started skimming small amounts pre-deposit, 20s, 50s, into a savings I alone could see. No secrets to hurt anyone. Insurance against drowning. That afternoon, I moved $47,000 into a new individual account at a downtown branch where nobody knew my name. The banker slid a card across the desk and said, "This gives you complete control." Music to my ears. The next morning, Lydia had me at the courthouse with a buyer named Marcus Chen who could pass for an accountant, but buys entire blocks for cash. He loved the house. He loved the timeline more. We signed. Funds wired within 24 hours, deed to record Monday. I drove home past familiar streets that suddenly felt like a museum I used to visit. Through the window, I saw phase 1 of the invasion. Boxes, kids tearing across my rug, Gloria posted in my kitchen like quality control. I sat in the truck watching the show I wasn't part of anymore, smiled, and went inside to change the locks. New deadbolts by sunset. Saturday morning hit like a parade. Moving van. Convoy of dented cars. Clarissa hopped out glowing. Dahlia strutted in designer jeans, already directing the troops. Marisol corralled her kids like friendly tornadoes. Gloria floated up the walk like a queen returning to her summer home. Clarissa slid a key into the lock. Nothing. She jiggled. Nothing. "Adrian," she said, brittle sunshine, "the door won't open." "I know," I said, sipping coffee. Panic widened in waves. Movers holding boxes, Dahlia checking her phone for answers, Marisol shushing her youngest, Gloria squinting at me like I'd malfunctioned. "What's going on?" Clarissa asked. "Nothing's coming in," I said. Then I gave them the line I'd been polishing in my head for 2 days. "This house is sold." Silence fell like snow. Even the neighbor's dog paused mid-bark. Clarissa tried for logic. "You can't sell our house without telling me." "It's not our house," I said, handing over the folder. "It's mine. Was mine. Now it's Marcus Chen's. Deed records Monday." She paged through signatures like they were written in another language. "You sold for undermarket?" "I sold for peace." Dahlia lunged in. "You can't do this. We gave notice. We planned rooms. Mom sold her condo." "Should have checked with the owner." Marisol tried the kid card. "The children—" "Will be fine when the adults stop using them as pawns," I said. Gloria finally spoke, voice arctic. "You are cruel, Adrian. Family comes first." "I agree," I said. "I'm family." Nobody acted like it. The movers looked at me. "Unload or reload?" "Reload." Dahlia's eyes filled. "You planned this," she yelled. "You let us pack." "I planned this Wednesday morning," I said. About 3 minutes after Clarissa said, "Already decided." Clarissa stared at the papers like they might rearrange into a better outcome. "Call the buyer. We'll pay a penalty. No, money's wired. Title's in motion. On Monday, this isn't our problem anymore." It landed then. The recognition that a boundary existed and they'd run into it face first. The movers packed with the quiet efficiency of men who've seen things. The caravan pulled away. Clarissa watched me like I was a stranger. "I don't know who you are anymore." "That makes 2 of us," I said. 3 weeks later, I knew exactly who I was. I rented a modest townhouse 15 minutes away. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, a small kitchen that works, and a sliver of a backyard with a garden patch the prior owner loved. I planted tomatoes and white lilies. I wake to my own alarm. I cook with every utensil exactly where I left it. Sometimes, the loudest sound is water hitting the soil. The legal fallout fizzled. A lawyer called to hint at duress. I offered medical clearance, bank records, witnesses, and a single-owner deed history. He pivoted to arrangements. I pivoted to no. The papers arrived 2 weeks later, amicable enough for a disaster. She kept her car and its payments. She kept her credit card debt. I kept my truck and my quiet. Fair trade. People ask if I regret selling. I don't. I didn't sell a house. I bought back my life. The deed taught me something simple. Ownership without boundaries is just a bill. I'd been the reliable one so long, everyone mistook reliability for unlimited access. I see Clarissa around town sometimes. She looks tired in the way people look when they're finally carrying their own weight. She gives me a small nod. I nod back. We both keep walking. That's enough. Sundays, I read on the patio. Saturdays, I weed the beds and plan spring. Some evenings, my buddy Mike brings a 6-pack and we watch the game at a perfectly inappropriate volume. No one complains about the snacks. The remote lives in one place by design. I still think about that morning, with the deadbolt and the moving van and a whole family staring at a boundary for the first time. I remember the hush after I said, "This house is sold." The way the quiet felt clean and new, like a window, opening after a storm. Here's what I learned, and I learned it late but well. Love is voluntary, respect is non-negotiable, and already decided is a dare you don't have to accept. You can stay kind and still say no. You can be generous without being a doormat. You can change the rules when the game stops being fair. Most mornings now, I catch my reflection and see the same guy. Same scar on the chin from a childhood bike jump gone wrong. Same brown eyes. But the look is different. Lighter. The man in the mirror belongs to himself. I pour coffee. The house is quiet on purpose. The lilies are opening. If a text ever arrives that says, "We figured you can move to the basement," I'll smile, turn the phone face down, and go water the tomatoes. Because the only thing already decided is this. My life has one landlord and he signs my name. I was buttering toast at 7:23 a.m., coffee maker hissing like a tiny steam engine, when my wife walked in with the politician's smile, the one that means, this is an announcement, not a conversation. My sisters, their kids, and Mom are moving in, Clarissa said. It's already decided. Then she grabbed her keys and left to pick them up. I stood there with a butter knife in my hand, watching my quiet house turn into a committee decision I'd apparently missed. 8 years married to Clarissa had trained me to read the signs, open magazines to the right curtains, we language that meant me. But this was martial law. The words "already decided" rang louder than the wind chimes. Next door. For clarity, her family meant Dahlia, 32 and allergic to payroll, Marisol, a single mom with 3 kids and a PhD in chaos, and Gloria, a mother-in-law who treated my home like a hotel with poor management. None of them had paid a dime here. I had 15 years of overtime and duct-taped trucks to get a deed with one name on it, mine. I finished my toast because chewing felt like the only polite way to keep my jaw from locking up. When the cup hit the saucer, I knew 2 things. My silence wasn't consent, and we have the space was about to meet no